Welcome to Two Seats, One Brain. I'm Em.
And I'm Jay. And we're a cozy, queer podcast disguised as a late-night radio show.
Yes, and we have a few different segments for you guys, so we should tell them a little bit more about what we offer before we get into tonight.
That's a great idea. So the first segment we're going to talk about is our listener stories, which is kind of a take on old school radio, where listeners would call in and get advice on their problems, but instead we're just going to read Reddit stories. Maybe in the future get real listener stories, though.
Yeah, hopefully that would be super fun. We also have our deep dive sessions, which are really fun because we essentially hyperfixate on something, learn a bunch about it, and then tell the other person all about it, which is a fun way for us to kind of cement our research as a hobby into our brains.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Great way to learn about something by teaching someone.
Yeah, of course.
And then we also have our hi-fi news, which is our take on a Hope Corps news, just some short stories about positive things going on in the world, because we all need a little positivity nowadays.
Yes, 100%. So we have that. We also have Real Frequencies, which is basically this film club party of two that we created ourselves, where we just decided to be more intentional when watching different films. And so we would write down notes, ask questions, watch YouTube deep dives. So this is where we essentially just air those.
Yeah, and then lastly, we have our open air sessions, which is what we're doing tonight, which we take a topic, loosely research, make sure we have some terms, and then kind of just talk it out, right?
Yeah, exactly. So tonight's open air session, essentially, why does every show feel so dumb now? Media literally thinks we're stupid.
Yeah, and this is a fun topic because we had noticed recently that we didn't like really new stuff, and then we learned about all these terms, so I'm excited to talk about this tonight.
Yeah, it should be super fun because we definitely realize we're not crazy. This is a legitimate thing that's happening. There are actual terms for the approach that these directors and writers are taking. One that we kind of found that explained what the state we're coming from is the fact that we live in an attention economy, which is where everything's trying to grab your attention. It's why everything is so freaking overstimulating. And it's basically just where the humans, attention is a commodity.
Yeah, it is, because everyone's so distracted.
Yeah, ever fleeting. You have to be bright, flashy, in your face. So exhausting. Another term for it is, or another term that we learned about, which is super horrifying, is the second screen viewing. Yeah. Which is exactly what it sounds like. They're under the assumption that they are the second screen that you are viewing in the room because you are probably doom scrolling on your phone while you're watching TV or movies or whatever.
Yeah, so the whole idea is that if there's something subtle that's shown, that it's going to get missed, and then the person isn't going to like the show or movie or whatever because they didn't pick up on the clue, and then they're this didn't make sense.
Yeah, you have to literally make the shows so easy to understand while you're completely distracted on your phone. Otherwise people will get pissed off if they don't understand the plot.
Yeah.
So,
but why are these media companies feeding into this? Why are these writers allowing this to happen?
Right, that's the question. Why would they want to create slop?
Right, because it should be art, right? I mean,
right, create something you're excited about. What are you saying? Say something with a message. Have a message. But there's deeper meaning there. We think that there's potentially propaganda. Well, definitely propaganda. And it's just kind of giving democracy as a construct.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first point to make really is let's dive into media is being consumed. It's being designed to be consumed. It's not being designed to, I don't know, enjoy, encourage critical thinking. So let's talk about exactly what that looks like in a TV show. How do you know it's essentially been dumbed down, right? And I feel there's these engagement checkpoints that are for people who are on their phone, like we said, or distracted, where it's reminding you of what's happening, but it says it in a very blatant way, and you're why did they just say that? We all know that they were going to grandma's to save the kitten from the tree. Why did they say, we have to go to grandma's now, remember guys, to save the kitten in the tree?
Yeah, like we've talked about this a lot where we get taken out of the moment when the character's announcing the plot or like just saying something that's like really unnatural, like, oh, come on, Janie, you're my sister and we've known each other for the 26 years that I've been alive. And it's like, all right, we get it. Like, gosh,
she's 26.
People don't talk like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally called expository dialogue. So this is one of the terms that we learned. And it's where characters are like stating something that's like you should be able to infer if you were paying attention, essentially. And so that's why for those of us who are paying attention, it's really frustrating to like watch TV like that because it feels like insulting.
Yeah, I was just thinking that word, like insulting. Yeah. Like, why are you telling me the plot?
Right.
Of like, why is the character announcing the plot? Like, I'm so sick of seeing that.
Literally. Like, so much TV has felt so insulting to us lately. Like, I was so excited for Wednesday season 2. So excited. I don't even, like, whatever.
We love Fred Armisen.
Yeah, we love Fred Armisen.
I hate to say that we did not enjoy Wednesday season 2.
It wasn't his fault.
But we loved season 1. It was not his fault. He was hilarious, though.
Yeah, he's great. Good times. Always. Yeah. 10 out of 10. But, like, literally, I just... It felt, like, so engineered for the masses. Like, I just felt like the vibes were off.
It felt like a caricature of itself. It's like, I can tell that, like, this is the type of show that's been advertised on the side of a Wendy's bag for 6 months. Like,
literally.
It's like, I know. Like,
yeah, it's giving that.
Yeah, and we used to, like, I don't think we're, like, I guess we've gotten a little pickier with stuff we've been watching, but, like, we can appreciate things for what they are. Like, we're not like, oh, reality TV shows are trash. Like, we've appreciated reality TV shows, which we should get into next, but... we can appreciate things for what they are, but not when it's so dumbed down. And we've never turned things off before, and lately we've found ourselves turning things off a lot.
It's like inconsumable. Like, literally, I cannot sit through it. And we used to love like reality TV, and we would acknowledge it for what it was. Like, we love like obviously the psychology of it, the sociology of it, and like kind of like unpacking I felt like it was like literally making us more emotionally intelligent to like try to empathize with all these like characters and realize that they're being villainized, and or portrayed a certain way. It was fun to like play into that and like take it for what it was. But like so much reality TV now is completely insufferable. It's completely like totally controlled. Like you were saying, Love is Blind is like terrible now, and it is. We couldn't get through the newest season, obviously. Like, it's hard for so many reasons. It's so like complicated. But when it was in the beginning, when it was like an experiment, I don't know, it just felt less contrived. And now everything is just copy paste, like so controlled. And like we know that they were all like performatively eating and showing food and beverage and like, I don't know, trying to prove that they weren't abused.
Just always trying to top themselves too. Like,
yes.
I'm so sick of the trope of like, oh my gosh, I knew them on the outside. Like all the reality TV shows do that now. And it's like, it's so obviously planned that it takes me out of it. It's like, I don't care that like, oh, this is your ex in the pods and he tried to manipulate you. Like, it's obviously all fake.
Yes, exactly. It totally is. Like all of that. And then we were watching House Hunters, and I know that that's all fake too, okay?
Yeah, we were aware.
We know that it's fake, but we got really taken out of House Hunters when it was like trying to do a crossover with The Gilded Age, which is some TV show that Miranda from Sex and the City is in. So we're watching House Hunters. This girl's like, oh, I love opulent interiors with character, and they're like, oh, like on The Gilded Age? And then Miranda pops up on her screen, and we were like, what is happening?
Yeah, it completely took us out of it. And they were mentioning The Gilded Age a lot, but we thought that the person on the show was just really liked the show. Then I looked it up, and of course House Hunters was on HBO, and The Gilded Age was a show by HBO, and we were just like, God, and we had to turn it off because we were just like, can you not use this as a 30-minute ad?
Yeah, it's exhausting.
I'm not watching your 30-minute ad. Like, I'm trying to watch a show about fake real estate, not fake ads. Like,
yeah. Exactly. It was just like embarrassing. It's like they thought we wouldn't notice. And so that was
insulting.
Like insulting again. Because it's just like, it's not, I don't know, it's just not like what we were there for. And Project Runway was terrible too. Obviously, take it for what it is again. But we love Christian and we love designing, the designers doing things like that. It could be such a fun, creative show, and it just became so contrived and all about advertisements. Maybelline.
Yeah, I felt like an hour ad.
An hour ad, exactly. It was just depressing.
And they weren't even finishing the episodes. You had to wait till the next episode to see who got voted off, and by then you didn't even remember the outfits.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
It was like you're trying so hard to like control what our excitement and control like, aha, I'm going to hook you to come back next week. And it's like,
joke's on you. I don't care now.
Yeah, joke's on you. I forgot about your show. So, like,
right.
You suck.
Right.
So frustrating.
Moving on to the next point.
Okay, so we could talk about examples of media that we abhor lately, forever, probably.
Yeah.
But let's, like, get into, like, really, like, what we're missing. Instead of just, like, talking on what we don't like. Let's, like, talk about what we're missing out on and, like, what we want to see more of.
Yeah, like the art and expression of it all.
Yes. And so what's being lost with this slop media that they are putting out lately to, you know, I guess go for these people who are on their phones, doom scrolling, or have, like, such short attention spans, we're losing the art of storytelling, the art of subtext. There's so much that goes into creating a story. Like, film is insane. Like, when you think of all the layers of storytelling, the lighting, the fashion, the set design, the tone, the music, like the dialogue, everything. Like, there's so much.
Yeah, as we've learned by creating this podcast together. Yes. And having to do all of those things.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it does give me a different perspective on it for sure.
We've definitely been watching movies with a new lens.
Yeah, and it's been
creating.
Yeah, it's been really fun to, like, appreciate the work that goes into it, and then conversely, it's disappointing to see when there's just such a lack of care put into the art of storytelling. So, like, examples of this is, like, just noticing the background of a show and it being, like, so intentional, like all these little details adding layers to the characters, layers to the story. And we learned what this term was, which is Chekovs gun. Essentially, this is the idea that, like, you don't need the plot to be, like, announced. Like, it is supposed to be, like, inferred and there's supposed to be these, like, intentional pieces put in the story that tell you the story. Yeah,
because the actual, like, origin of the term comes from Chekhov, who said that if a rifle is shown in the first act of a play, then it must go off in the second act of the play. Just to say, if you show something, it should have meaning. Yeah, exactly. I get so frustrated with these stories that essentially, like, they'll show something happening and I'm, like, looking for clues. I'm looking for context. So I'm thinking, like, oh, that's weird. I wonder why that happened. And let's see if they come back to that later. And then the whole show goes on. And then I'm like, whatever happened with that? What was the point of doing that? And I wish I had, like, more examples right now, but I'm sure you've experienced that. Yeah. And what's funny is I think for a while I thought that when that would happen and it would show something and then that would later have no meaning, I thought that, oh, that must have been, like, a red herring, meaning, like, to, like, throw you off course. But right, I think it's just lazy storytelling. Right, there's, like, not that much intention in it. And we're, like, looking so hard for these clues, the meaning. Right, like these Easter eggs, but it's genuinely, like, it feels like it's, like, not there anymore, and it's really sad. And there's obviously so much film out there that is wonderful. And, like, oh, of course, an example, I love the morning show. We have been watching that. Yeah. And there, you can tell it's very cinematic. Obviously, it's done really well. And just things like Jennifer Aniston's facial expressions. I feel like she does such a good job at having these, like, just, like, micro expressions, and it gives me so much insight into who her character is. And it's helping me become more of, like, an emotionally developed person by, like, watching her evolution as a character and seeing all these micro emotions. And if you're just, like, not tuned into that, then, like, you're not learning as much about the characters. Yeah, like, that would not be a good show to watch on your phone because you would miss all that. Yeah. There is a lot of, like, hidden things. Like, another scene we liked from that show was Jennifer Aniston's character was, like, walking through an intense moment, and she was wearing this fire red dress, and then behind her were a bunch of gray suits, and it really was like a powerful moment. You could tell it was trying to, like, say something, and just something you would miss. Yeah, exactly. It's like a 2-second scene. You know? Yeah. And there's just so much intention. They, like, specifically chose for her to wear this bright red dress, and, like,
I don't know. It's just like so fun to like think about those kinds of things. And also there's moments when it's less fun, and it's like you're supposed to sit uncomfortably like with an emotion of the moment or the scene. And like my favorite scenes are the end of a Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Obviously, it's amazing. The end.
Wait, can I tell the story?
Yeah, tell the story.
It was probably like our third date ever, and she came over to my place because we weren't living together yet, and I was like, you have to watch Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It's like a classic lesbian movie. Like, it's so beautiful, cinematic, whatever. And you're a sleepy girl. You fall asleep kind of early.
Yeah.
And we're in Portrait of a Lady on Fire is beautiful, but it's such a slow movie. And anyway, we were like, yeah, let's watch it. And I look over, and she's just like
conked out,
completely gone. And I was like, okay, whatever. She's like, so I just kept watching the movie, and then I won't spoil the movie, but the end of it's quite sad. And she wakes up and is just like, and just like starts bursting into tears. And I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, it's just so beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful.
There was so much emotion in that scene. Like, I slept through the whole movie, woke up. Obviously, I'm a lesbian, so I'm going to feel emotional over lesbians being emotional.
And again, no spoilers, but the end of the scene, it was obvious what was happening.
Yeah, it was. But it was also not. Like, it was one of those emotions. You're just, like, watching her have this intense moment and emotion, and it's like, I didn't need to know what all it meant because I didn't know, because I didn't watch the whole movie. But sitting with that emotion, sitting in that scene, like,
they got the emotion across in that scene enough for you to completely miss the whole movie and still like it
and still be like sobbing my eyes out at the end, like any good lesbian film. But I definitely appreciated that. But like, that's what you're supposed, like, that's what you want, I would think, your art to do, is create an emotion, create a feeling, or create a question. Like, that's even more fun. Like, what does this mean, like, to this person? And we're losing that. Mm-hmm. And why are they depriving of that, us of that? Like,
well, that's why, like, you and I have been leaning as, like, I'm gonna like gag saying this out loud, but like, that's why we've been like really liking indie films the best. Like, we decided like we don't really like blockbusters anymore. Like, we don't want to go see the new Marvel movie. Like, I want to watch something weird that's like leaves me feeling like really confused emotions at the end, and it's up for interpretation. Like, I think it's beautiful when like something can leave, or art can allow someone to have their own interpretation.
Yes.
Because then it's so much more impactful instead of being spoon-fed a plot.
Exactly. I don't want it to be spelled out how I'm supposed to feel. Like, that's part of the experience, is to think like, wait, what did that ending mean? Like, those are the best ones. And like, we love the Studio Ghibli movies. We've been watching, obviously, Studio Ghibli's amazing, but if you care to look into it, there's a lot of like intentional like hidden meaning in those films,
and a lot of like Japanese like folklore and culture. Like, it's very beautiful. It's actually stunning if you pay attention and enjoy it. And it's like, that is such a gift to give to consumers, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I just like, that's what I want. If I'm like gonna take the time, like 3 hours to like watch a really long movie, or like, you know, like, that's, I don't know, that's a lot of time to just sit there, and then for it to be nothing, for it to just be like such a predictable plot,
vapid.
Or like,
like, I don't know. And then when they're just like pushing propaganda, it's very obvious, like you said, with all these like blockbuster films, like nothing is like new, or like nothing's a fun idea, nothing feels relevant, it all feels like out of touch. It just feels dark, and I don't know, it just feels like it's like not encouraging our like individuality, like our critical thinking skills. Like, it feels like purposeful, like it wants us to like not think.
No, I think that's a great point, and I just want to work for it a little more.
I want to work for it a little more.
I don't want the plot to be handed to me, because then like I start like, if it's so obvious, like my mind starts wandering, I'm not really paying attention, and that is when you pick up your phone. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's interesting to think about how this is just the media that's being presented to us. So that kind of brings us back to what we were talking about at the beginning, which is like, what's the agenda?
Yeah, because it feels like there has to be an agenda. It just, anything that is put out recently, you feel it. There's a visceral difference in the way things are presented, especially with the increase of AI that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Like, we're noticing a change in media. It doesn't just feel like, oh, there's the blockbusters, there's the indie films. Like, it feels like what's mass produced, what's most common, what's promoted on Netflix, like all these things is just like slop.
Yeah.
And
we've had a hard time with the new stuff.
Yeah, we can't get through anything. And you have to acknowledge that art, politics, like media, all of this is deeply intertwined. And unfortunately, we live inside of a capitalistic corporation of a country. Mm-hmm. So, like, there is no safety. There is no, like, separation of church and state, babe. They lied.
Right.
So, like, we saw this actually, like, I feel like we were thinking about this with the Mariah Carey Sephora commercial, because essentially this lack of subtext, this lack of storytelling, this just kind of like putting the consumer, the mass, the 99%, putting them down and just patronizing and being insulting, like all of this is like it's giving this democracy is an illusion.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like we have this, like you said it best the other day, illusion of choice. We don't have a choice, babe. Like, we have the illusion of choice. And that's what that Mariah Carey and Sephora commercial, like, was giving. Like, oh, you think you're going to boycott? Like, you don't actually have a choice. Like, you're going to participate in capitalism and you're going to like it.
There was such an eerie feeling with that commercial.
So
it was very
eerie.
Just like, I don't know. It felt like she was like making a statement.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a statement was made that, like, they don't care that we're saying, like, we're not going to participate in Christmas, like, or the holidays, whatever. They're saying, like, yes, you are, because you always have.
Yeah, and, like, I'm sorry, no one cares about Sephora when, like, people can't eat. Like,
right, of course not. I don't understand, like, what more it's going to take to, like, get through to them. But it's just eerie how much it's, like, in our faces, I feel like. Right? Like,
yeah,
don't you feel like
they don't care to even hide it anymore because they're like, well, there's nothing you can do about it. So good luck, sweeties.
Exactly. Like, they do not take our boycotts seriously, and it just is deeply, deeply frustrating to, like, just feel like that. That's why, like, I think the point that we're trying to get out of this is that, like, this mass media, like, don't consume it. If you don't like it, if you're, like, on your phone, like, stop watching the show. Like, stop streaming it. Like,
yeah, because they're just realizing that we'll just take anything.
Yeah.
And that's what that commercial is saying. Like, well, you guys are going to have it anyway.
Yeah.
So we have to
reject it.
We have to reject it, yeah.
Yeah, and we have to, like, seek out, like, be intentional about what you seek out. Like, I feel like that has helped us so much.
Yeah.
Just, like, being more intentional with, like, what we consume. Just, obviously, we're not perfect. We, like, have so many, it's, like, a step-by-step process. Like,
yeah,
you gotta, like, do it one habit at a time and kind of build from there. But I think it's important this is another reason why we started this whole adventure of trying to create content, is because we were trying to create something
rather than just consume.
Just consume. Of course, it's like, ideally you'd be creating more than consuming, but
it's really hard to do.
It's harder than you would think. But, like, yeah, we just wanted to create something, and also, like, I guess, like, question things. Like, we have been questioning everything lately.
And just being really intentional, because like even like we already said, being willing to turn off a show because we don't like it. It's like, instead of being like, oh, it's fine, like, I'm probably being too picky, or like, I'll just, like, get through it, whatever. Like, why would you do that? Like, you want to waste, like, an hour watching something you're not enjoying? Like, that's a lot of time. Think about, like, what you can get done in an hour.
Exactly.
And you're consuming media that you don't even really like. So, like, that's fine. If you feel like watching a movie, watch something that you care about. Like, watch something that's making you, like, feel engaged, and, like, be intentional about it rather than just checking out.
Yeah. Seriously.
Which is hard because obviously we all, like, low-key want to disassociate.
Yeah, obviously there's, like, a time and place for doom scrolling and, like, trash TV that has no place. Like, it's literally about, like, intentionally doing something that feels good for you. But, like, for us, like, we were so, like, disappointed and overstimulated, and, like, it's creepy, like, looking at kids now and, like, seeing Coco Melon, and, like, and we, like, are obsessed with Hey Arnold. Like, thinking of that, the nostalgia.
I was just gonna suggest, why don't we mention the shows that we're watching right now that we do enjoy?
That's a great idea.
Like, you know, do make us feel good.
Yeah, more positive.
Yeah.
So, Hey Arnold, if you haven't watched it in your adult life, you need to go back because it's like,
oh, good.
It's so there's so many layers. There's so much intention. You can just tell Craig Bartlett put like his heart and soul into it. The score, oh God.
We love jazz. That particular kind of jazz is called acid jazz, and we love acid jazz.
It's such a vibe. The scenes, like when you think like they had to draw all of it, but it's still cinematic. Like they like were intentional about the angles, and it's beautiful. I could talk all day about Hey Arnold.
So
it's
good.
Obviously an incredible show. You need to watch it. And then we're watching Minx, which is really fun.
Yes, it's a show about, it's set in the 70s, and it's about a male magazine.
Well, it's not a male magazine.
Well,
it's for women.
Yeah.
But it's naked men are in it, which is, you know, I guess good for some of them. But
yeah, and we expected it to be lowbrow, but it's actually really cinematically shot.
Yeah.
And it's very intentional.
Very intentional.
Very
The
on
set.
theme, very beautiful colors. So highly recommend
The
it.
fashion.
Yeah.
It's iconic. I feel like I'm there.
Yeah.
And I honestly was a little worried because I did watch New Girl once upon a time, and I thought I would only be able to see Nick as the character.
I don't even know what his actor's name is.
But yeah, the actor who plays Nick, like I was like, but I'm so in that world, and like even though the main character is complicated, and I kind of love that. Like I love that I don't like love or hate her.
Yeah, she's like really annoying, but I also like I want it to work.
Yeah,
so it's like
but that's good. I love the complicated feelings. Like it's so fun to not have like a clear villain and a clear, I don't know, hero. It's good to question and deal with like the dynamic, I don't know, yin and yang of life.
Yeah, which like on a similar note, we also mentioned we're watching The Morning Show, which like has a lot of similar characters where like you're not sure if you like them or not, and you're not really sure if they're good people or not, and they seem like bad people, but then sometimes you feel a lot of empathy for them, and it also touches on like really important topics like, you know, women dealing with assault that isn't overt, and like just showing what that can look like.
Yeah, all the
really,
different
like,
insidious ways that it can kind of creep in, and
really well done.
Yeah, really well done. Like definitely gets you thinking, and also like being confused about which characters you like or trust, which is interesting. And then we've been watching a lot of like, obviously A24 is amazing.
Yeah, which we're going to talk about one of the ones we watched recently, the Florida Project.
The Florida Project.
Probably our next show.
Iconic, yeah.
So
that if you haven't seen it, you literally need to. It's so good. That's exciting. So stay tuned for that. But thanks for sticking around for our little rant. Essentially, I guess the message is create, question, and consume less.
And be intentional.
Yeah, and don't watch ads in your television shows. If they like start doing that, turn it off. The Maybelline on Project Runway, I'm over it.
They've always done that, to be fair, but it's gotten worse.
It's gotten so much
gotten
worse.
A lot worse.
It's like, I'm using this Tresemme curl spray to get the curl that you want walking down the runway, and it's like, oh my God.
And it just keeps going and going, and you're like, is it gonna stop?
Like it's literally like minutes of the episode. So anyways,
create,
question,
and be intentional.
Boom. And block Mariah Carey. And block Sephora.
Block everyone.
And block Blockbuster.
I think Blockbuster's been out of business for a while. I think they're good. They're permanently blocked.
Block Marvel.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks so much. See you around.